Okay, in this video we are going to be doing a natural nail manicure with these two new products. So this is going to be exciting for me because I haven't used it yet. So we'll see how the manicure looks. It should look really, really nice and natural and bright. So I removed shellac from this client's nails, and a couple of them, 3 of them were missing shellac. So this is why they look a little different. And I removed it with straight acetone. That's why some areas are a little bit wider, but that's very temporary, no worries. So we're going to shape the nails first. This is good, or a little bit shorter? How would you like?
No, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's good? Okay. So I shortened the nails a little bit just before I was soaking them off, so that's why the shape is a little off. By the way, and I kind of repeat that in every video, but I still have people asking, filing back and forth is completely okay. I'm going to leave a reference, a link below. I think I'm going to shorten these ones a little bit more because the pinky is shorter. So I'm going to do this with my e-file. I just used it for the shellac removal, so that's why it's a little dusty. So the reason why I used it on shellac is because we had 2 top coats. And one of them was the no wipe, which does not remove very easily, I hear, so this is why. Because normally I don't remove shine from the top coat. Oh, this is good. I have a video if you're interested in shaping. I have quite a few videos how to shape nails, and I can link them below as well. I made a video about shaping this shape as well, so I'm not going to repeat myself. I like using the metal files because they're quite thin and they don't bend when I'm working with them, so, and they're quite sharp and they remain sharp for a very, very long time. Paper files are also good if you're using them for yourself, especially the very thin ones. The best ones I find are made by C&D. Can't remember now the name, the black one. It's not a Kanga, it's maybe Kanga. And the reason why I like it is because it's also very thin and the edges are beveled, so you're not going to cut yourself with it. But they are expensive. They're really expensive, so I don't know, they cost like, I think €50, and we can't sanitize them, so they would have to go in a garbage right away. So if you're using them for yourself, then definitely it's worth buying them, but for the salon use, when I have to throw them away, it's a bit of a waste. So I use the metal files because they can be disinfected properly. I also get a lot of questions, people asking me how to disinfect your own stuff, because we have a lot of people watching who are doing their own nails. So it's much easier when you're disinfecting your own tools. So first you wanna, when you're finished, you want to wash the tool with a brush and soap and warm water. And then for yourself, you can just soak it in 70% alcohol. Not 90, believe it or not, 90 is not better. You need a little bit of water in the alcohol in order for it to be more effective. So you want to use, it's called rubbing alcohol, I think, in the US. So 70% alcohol. You want to soak them for at least 10 minutes. Because the thing with alcohol is great, but evaporates very fast. So spraying something with alcohol doesn't really work as well, because you have to leave it on the surface for 10 minutes. So you would have to be re-wetting the surface every minute probably. Anyway, so yes, soak the implements and dry them and keep them not in an airtight container, because if there is any moisture you can have bacteria growing and stuff. So just in like a normal clean drawer somewhere. For us here, when it comes to sanitizing and disinfecting, we use a special powder that we mix with water, and we wash the implements as well, and then we put it into the solution for 10 minutes. So the solution, you mix 10 grams of powder in 2 cups of water, and then you change it every 2 days to make it's a high level disinfection then. Or you can, if you're not using something, I don't know, because I'm working on the skin, so I want to use the high level. In order to achieve a medium level, you could use the same powder. You can mix 5 grams of the powder to 2 cups of water, and then you can soak for 5 minutes. So we go like, you know, for the full, pretty much it's sterilized after it's in there for 10 minutes. So that's good, because we can, working on the feet, you can have fungal spores and things like that. So you want to make sure that everything is super nice and clean. But for your own use, I can actually leave the name of the disinfectant in the description box if you want. In Canada, I used Excel. It used to be called Excel, and then later on they changed the name to Preempt, and that was stabilized hydrogen peroxide that we used, which was great as well. And the soaking time, I believe it was 20 minutes, no? 20 minutes, I think. Yeah, so same thing. You had to wash, because putting the dirty implements in the solution just contaminates the solution, and it's pointless. So first, it's important to wash the tools, make sure that there is no dirt on them, and then you want to soak them for a recommended amount of time, and then you have to change the solution however they say on the label. So you have to read. You can actually also sanitize the implements in bleach, but I'm not sure. Bleach is a little problematic because it bleaches things, right? So if you spill it somewhere, you can ruin your clothes, but you can as well clean it with bleach. And it doesn't have to be very strong. We wash all the towels when it comes to the salon with bleach each time. The rules in Canada were actually very, very good. The guidelines for disinfection, it was great. They made a lot of sense. Okay, I'm gonna just look at all of them and see if anything stands out. No, they look good. All right, so now, I'm gonna push back the living skin, which is not a cuticle. So now I'm pushing back, which is called proximal nail fold. And when the nails are dry like this, you can really see what you're doing, which is great. I'm gonna do a dry manicure because why not? But you can definitely use Blue Cross remover. That's a very, very good remover. And it's different when you're doing your own nails every week. Then there is way less work to do, but obviously in the salon, clients come in every 2 to 3 weeks, I would say. So there is just different work that I need to do. So This is not necessarily any better, it's just I have different needs. And I know there are different opinions when it comes to electric files, and I do agree that I see a lot of damage. People overdo it big time, but they like the look that creates, so I guess that's the price that they're paying. Personally, I prefer doing very, very gentle services without filing the skin, because I don't believe that filing the skin is good to remove dry skin. So I'm going to use it on like 9,000 RPM, and I think that's even a little bit too fast. This is 8,000. So the reason why I like to use it is because, first of all, you get to do a dry manicure, which you're not swelling the nail, because anytime the nail is has a contact with water or any solution, even acetone, it swells. So when you are applying something on like a swollen surface, once the nail dries, the polish will chip off much easier because you've applied it on like a swollen nail. So when the nails are dry, the polish lasts longer. So what I do here, I just exfoliate the skin a little bit, tiny bit, but I don't try to remove dry skin. And I know I sound like a broken record, but it is so important to understand that dry skin cannot be fixed by filing. You have to protect it, you have to use oils, creams. I love Carousel around the nails. It's like an ointment that has urea and salicylic acid. It's super effective, especially for people that have a lot of hard skin around the nails. So for this client, I wouldn't even recommend it because her skin is really good. So using like a regular cream would be enough, but not everybody is so lucky. So people that have issues with sometimes even overgrown skin due to cutting, like if a lot of people have hard skin because they used to cut that living skin thinking it's a cuticle. So in that case, definitely using the Carousel is a good idea. I like getting these little pieces of skin here because sometimes there's a little bit of hard skin and then clients tend to pick. So this just really softens that skin and there's nothing to pick. So as you can see, there is not a lot of dust being created here because the cuticle tissue is very thin. So if you're seeing a lot of dust, then the nail is being filed and not just cuticle being removed. But again, if you're doing your own nails, don't worry about buying electric file. You honestly don't need it. I think doing weekly manicure is much more effective. That's what I do. And then just wait with your polish application, like I don't know, an hour or something. What I actually recommend doing when you're doing your own nails, which is not possible in a salon, is doing the manicure. So removing the polish, doing the manicure, and then leaving it off for like overnight. So in that time, just apply lots of oils to give the nails a little bit of more oil, because I think normally nails receive oil from the skin, from the surrounding skin, from the hair, but when they're covered with nail polish, they don't. And believe it or not, polish actually raises the moisture level in the nails. So we don't need to necessarily moisturize the nails. We need to add oils for the nails to have better flexibility, and the oils will protect the nails as well. Moisture is not, especially excess moisture, is not always good. So what you can do is you can have like a routine where on Saturday you can do your manicure, and then on Sunday polishing the nails. And on feet, I really do recommend doing your pedicures once every 2 weeks, which of course never is going to fly in a salon. People come back every 4 weeks, if that. Like, a lot of people want the pedicure to last like 6 weeks, but at that time the nails are just way too long. So I recommend just taking care of your toes a little bit more often. There's less work to do in that case, because it's not good for the nails when they're too long, and they can create trauma and they can lead to other issues. Okay, so now because I removed the shellac from the nails, I'm going to very, very lightly smooth some of the nails. I'm going to really look at the surface, and sometimes there's a tiny bit of base coat left. So now I'm just aiming to smooth the cuticle area where the cuticle used to be, and then just the base coat, and I kind of feel the surface. And what I do also is I smooth the free edge a little bit. And this is 220 buffer. These are from Cuccio, and I cut them into 4 pieces because I don't want to throw away the whole buffer after each use. But you definitely, if you're doing it yourself, you can keep the buffer. You always want to do as little buffing as possible, because buffing always removes layers, so it's not healthy for the nails to buff them. So I'm not doing this because it's good for the nails, I'm doing this because I have to. Otherwise the polish is going to go lumpy if there is some base coat left. I mean, buffing free edge is fine, it's just buffing the surface is never good. So if you can avoid it, that's great. I'm going to just wipe them with alcohol, and this is the 99% alcohol because you want it to evaporate very fast. The 70% I guess you could use, but I like using the 99%. You can also make your own solution, and you can mix 99% alcohol, like 3/4 of it, with, there's a little bit of base coat left here, with acetone. So 1/4 of acetone and 3/4 of alcohol. It's a very nice prep solution to dehydrate and degrease the nail before polish application. But always make sure that you are using cosmetic grade acetone. Don't go to a hardware store and kind of buy this acetone because it's cheaper. They say it's 100% acetone, it's never 100%. There's always some other ingredients, and you don't want to be using anything on your skin that's not supposed to be used on the skin. Because acetone, I think they use it for paint thinning or something, so you don't want to be using paint thinner on your nails, that's for sure. Or on your skin. And you want to make sure that you are using pure acetone. So look at the ingredients, because very often, and I even made that mistake, that I just quickly looked at the product and I go, oh, it's an acetone. But then I look and it says also that it contains glycerin or water or some perfume or oils. So that is good for nail polish removal if you want to, but not very good for prepping the nail, because you don't want to have any oils on the nail. Okay, so let's start with the Got Me Glowing. This one has hexanol in it. So in case you know anything about hexanol, please let me know in the comment section, because there is some, I don't know if it's a study or there's some articles about that ingredient, that it's supposed to be good for the nails, but I can't really find a lot of information about it. Actually, yeah, there was a study. There's just one. There's not a lot of information about it. So someone in the comment section was saying that this takes forever to dry, but she used it with a base coat and with a top coat, so that's different. So that would be 4 coats of polish. But I did try this on one of my nails and it dries up, actually no, on his nails. And it dries well, quickly. But you can definitely use it with base coat and top coat. But for like a quick manicure, I do a lot of those manicures here in the salon. Just people don't really want necessarily polish, they just want something shiny on their nails. So this is what I would use. I like that look too. Just goes with everything. So this applies really, really well. There's absolutely no streaking, super easy to apply. The brush is really good. And I'm gonna see once we're done with the application if this has that glowing, but I don't think so. This one doesn't glow. And by glow, I mean these polishes have a fluorescent, what is it, pigment or something. So they kind of really brighten the nail when you are outside. It's visible mostly on the outside, but even inside, they still look a little brighter. So it's especially good when people's nails are a little yellowed from nail polish wear. But I checked that by putting the hands under the UV lamp. So no, it doesn't have to cure in the lamp, but it will show me if it glows in the dark. So if this has the brightening effect or not. We're going to turn off the light. And this lamp that I have next to me has UV. Okay, no, so this one is not glowing. You can see this. This one is glowing. This one isn't. So this is false advertising. It's not glowing. Okay. All right, so this is dry. This is dry. So now on top of it, we're going to put this. I know someone was saying that they put this on the bottom and the other one on top, but I would put this on the bottom and then the glowing one on top. I've tried this product in 2 coats. It's quite blue, like when you go outside, so not everybody likes that look. But I think this one is the closest to the Dior Nail Glow. But we have to still test it side by side, because initially it's very, very close. And it's a little bit more blue. So the Dior, you can barely see the glow. But that very, very light glow, it looks super natural, and it kind of maintains it for a few days. Some of the products that are brightening, they tend to fade very, very quickly. So they start off really blue, which a lot of clients don't really like, that kind of, I don't know, crazy look. But then in a day or two, they completely lose that. So this is why I like the Nail Glow by Dior, because it just looks very natural. Yet it looks brighter. This also applies really, really good, really well. The brush is fantastic. It's a little bit stiffer than the Dior brush, but it's not a problem whatsoever. So you see, it's very, if you can see it, it's very flat, the brush, which is good because some of them have really, some of the polishes have round brushes, but the brushes are really thick, so it's very hard to get close to the skin without messing up. So this is fantastic, really good brush. Okay, so now I'm going to let them dry for 2 minutes and we'll be right back. Okay, so now let's see. You see now they're glowing. So now you can see all the mistakes. Yeah, so you want to make sure that you polish it really well. Wow, looks amazing on video. Looks really good. Okay, so after 1 minute, it was pretty dry. 2 minutes and it's dry. So it doesn't have like a blinding shine, but it's very naturally shiny. So you can definitely, if you want to have them more shiny, put a top coat on, but then it's going to take obviously a little bit longer to dry. But as a quick manicure that dries in no time, this is really good. Usually manicures like that take me, I usually book half an hour for this type of manicure.